Ready for chanting, everyone? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatam Maham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. Before we begin today's class, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for giving us this opportunity week after week for presenting the pristine message, the pure message of the Bhagavad Gita. I also wanted to confess something to all of you, that you may think that I am doing this program or we are doing this program because we wanted to share some knowledge or whatever. Yes, that may be incidentally there, but the biggest beneficiary of this program is me myself. Because of you all, I am getting an opportunity to be with Krishna in my mental space for 2 hours. Right? It is said in the scriptures that the speaker who speaks the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita benefits, the hearer also benefits. Both benefit. It's not that only the person who is hearing benefits, the speaker also benefits. What I am doing when I am speaking is called as kirtanam, and what you are doing when you are hearing is called as shravanam. Okay, so both are going on simultaneously. So both of us are benefiting like that. And I'll also say something from my heart. I am not an authority on all scriptures of this world. Okay, I wanted to admit very, maybe I could have been, but I am not. Okay, so I cannot talk about other scriptures of this world. The intention of this program is also not to defeat any other scripture. The intent of this program is very simple. With every rising and setting of the sun, all of us are one step closer to death. Right? We don't have much time on this planet. Life, I say, nikal jayega. Okay? In being busy in things. Srila Prabhupada said, therefore this human life has to be utilized very wisely. There is not much time. We don't know when, what will happen in this world, right? I am not trying to be pessimistic when I say that, but it is a reality which the gurus or acharyas have asked us to meditate upon. Okay. So it's not that we speak about death all the time. It's not like that. But it is a reality of life, that we have less time and it takes, because personally I have been practicing Krishna consciousness for the last 1997. How many years is that? 23, 26 years. So 26 years, the only realization that I have, the big realization I have is what? That I am a fool. Okay. I realized that I have wasted the 26 years of my life before I became a devotee. If at all, at the time, any day I may also leave, but if at all I will be happy about something at the time that I leave this body, is that at least I got this opportunity to be part of satsang, to be part of this great Krishna consciousness movement. That's the only worthwhile thing that I have done in my life. Baki sab bekar. All else is useless waste of time. I am not saying that my material education was useless. I will not say like that. But I would say that the way I lived my life before I was a devotee, that was not very good. But thankfully, because of Prabhupada's books, which we came in touch with, we are trying to perfect our own lives. We are struggling with our own anarthas. All of us have anarthas, right? Anyone here who can say that we are beyond pride, anger, greed, envy, lust? No. Hardly anybody can say. Some of you may be, but definitely, I am not there. So it takes a lot of time for this, for our sadhana, even our sadhana is not very good. When we sit for chanting, then how many of you were able to concentrate on the Mahamantra without your mind wandering here and there? Mind wander hota hai na? So therefore, and tomorrow we will talk about that. Tomorrow I am coming here to this, what is this place called? Vindam Vale program. Okay, I have been invited to speak over there tomorrow morning at 7:30. 7:30, yeah. So Arjun Saka Prabhu, Goparanjesh Prabhu and myself, all three of us have been asked to, we have been given 3 very key verses from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Very beautiful verses. Okay. So the 3rd verse I am going to be speaking on tomorrow. So I'll be talking something about that, about anartha nivriti tomorrow. But because this is more of a personal program, that is a Pandal program. This is more of a personal program, like that. So here I can say that it takes time. It takes time for us to overcome to clean our consciousness. Because we cannot show our face to God if our consciousness is not clean. It takes time. It actually takes time. Okay, so therefore, Krishna is very merciful. He has given us this time. So, we want to utilize our life, most of our life in introspecting on ourselves. At this point in time, till the time that we perfect our knowledge of scriptures, then what we do is we perfect the knowledge of scriptures on our side by studying for many years, and then we share this knowledge with others, what is presented in the Bhagavad Gita, right? By sharing this knowledge with others, others will get an opportunity, or others will have an option to either follow Bhagavad Gita or to reject Bhagavad Gita. That option is there with everyone. Kisi se option nahi china jayega. We always said in this program, nobody will be forced to do anything. It is an option everyone has. It is an option what philosophy one wants to follow. Okay, there is no compulsion. But it is our duty to present all the philosophies that are presented in the scriptures. Some people may choose to follow a Vaishnava Sampradaya. Some people may choose to follow some other Sampradaya. But it's everyone's choice. Krishna also doesn't take away the choice from everyone. So, continuing our discussion from the last class, but before that, anyone here for the first time? We didn't ask that. Anyone for the first time? Yes, Mataji. Welcome to the program, but maybe if you can share your name and who invited you to this program, what your expectations are, what's your profession, everything.
My name is Krishna. Hare
Krishna?
Yeah.
आपका नाम ही कृष्णा है? अच्छा, ठीक है. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Krishna. She is my friend Shruti, and I'm here because of her.
Very good. Thank you for bringing her, Shruti Mataji.
So much gratitude to her. I don't know what's the purpose, but let's see. As in when we are going, maybe the purpose of life will be clear. But yeah, I'm like today, to be very, very honest, I'm here to just try with my kids. Let's see how it goes.
But your kid will be probably happier in the other room. That's what I guess, because
the elder one is already there, but I'm not sure about him.
Okay. Maybe you can try, because definitely here, what is he going to do? Because he is going to sit with all these people. How to keep him engaged is a question mark. I don't know. Okay. So, but inside definitely there is some activities for children. Maybe Zarna Mataji can explore that and explore an opportunity, because I feel bad for him. Because if I were asked to sit like him, I will not be able to sit. He is still very nice. Patiently he has been sitting there. बेचारा कुछ परेशानी नहीं कर रहा है किसी को, which is amazing actually. Thank you. Welcome to the program, Krishna ji. All others are familiar faces. Okay. All right. So continuing our journey. Okay. If you want, you can make notes today. Okay. So if you want to, it's an option. I will send you slides also later on. Entire pack of this. I have not. I don't know where those slides are. I have misplaced some of the slides. But I'm going to speak, and then you can imagine what I'm saying. Last week we talked about, at the very outset on the top. Okay, let's go in a different way. We talked about Sampradaya. What is a Sampradaya? Who remembers? What is a Sampradaya? Sorry? Lineage. Okay, one more chance. You are almost very close to that. Lineage का और एक word है. University. University. Sampradaya is equal to what? University, right? And under the university are what? Colleges, or they are called as institutions. Okay, उसको बोलते हैं मठा, मठ. MUTT English में, संस्कृत में मठ, मठ, like that. So एक संप्रदाय के नीचे, under a sampradaya there are various mathas, like that. And in every matha there is parampara, जो आपने बोला अमित जी. There is a pedigree, or you know what's a pedigree? PEDIGRE, pedigree of teachers, okay, who come in disciplic succession. Parampara में आते हैं, guru, shishya, 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 like that. Okay. So there is university, there are institutes, and under each institute there is a parampara. Who are the four personalities who originated the Vaishnava Sampradayas? Brahma, Lakshmi, very good. It's not Shiva Sampradaya, but yeah, Rudra Sampradaya, yes, yes, and Kumara Sampradaya, very good. These four are called as Vaishnava Sampradayas. These four are called as Vaishnava Sampradayas. Why they are called as Vaishnava Sampradayas? Because the form of worship is the personal form of Lord Vishnu. Is that okay? That is why they are called as Vaishnava Sampradaya. Personal form of Vishnu, not the impersonal Brahman. None of these Sampradayas talk about impersonal Brahman. So these are four on one side. These are Vaishnava Sampradayas on one side. On the other side is the impersonal philosophical school. That is called as the school of impersonalism. And the origin of that school is also Lord Shiva. That is the greatness of Lord Shivji. Shivji यहाँ भी है और वहाँ भी है. He is an acharya here and he is an acharya here also. Right? Now, I wish I had asked you for a projector. I am repenting. आज नहीं पूछा मैंने. हो जाएगा? हाँ? कितना समय लगेगा? 10 minutes जाने. I don't want to disturb the class. Don't worry. फिर क्लास में ध्यान चला जाएगा. Don't worry. What we'll do is we'll do self learning. मेरा फोन कहाँ गया? गाड़ी में. हाँ ये my wife had my phone. गाड़ी में रख दिया मैंने. Because I wanted to show something from my phone. हाँ मतलब या चाबी भी उसी के पास है गाड़ी का. गाड़ी घर की बात है. कहानी घर की. There was a serial like that ना, दूरदर्शन में. याद दिलाया आपने मेरे को. स्टार प्लस में था क्या? अच्छा, थैंक यू. आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू भगवद गीता वर्सेस नाउ. यू हैव अ गुड मेमोरी. ओके, ठीक है. सो थैंक यू. But I still need my cell phone probably. Mataji has gone to bring, huh? Thank you. I'm so sorry to trouble all of you. It's my fault. I got some call and my phone निकाल के side में रख दिया on the way. So we'll go very systematic today. So concentrate. It's going to be a little informative, but it will be useful information for you. Okay, in the meantime, we will do this revision by the time Prabhuji sets up the projector. So, ISKCON is a sampradaya. True or false? What is ISKCON? Very good. It's mutt. It comes under the category of mutt. Very good. Somebody said that, yes. Huh? Very good. Amit Prabhu. So, ISKCON comes under which one? Brahma, Sri, Brahma. It comes under Brahma. So, under Brahma, one of the stalwarts, for example, cricket has been played for so many years, right? Okay, when you talk about the 1970s, Indian, which batsman comes to your mind? Top of the mind? Kapil, batsman है, Kapil Dev. हाँ देखो गावस्कर आ गया ना अभी, हाँ bowler बोला तो Kapil Dev, correct? When you talk after that 90s, then Tendulkar, right? And now if you talk, it will be Virat Kohli, whatever, right? And now they are saying Shubman Gill, right? So it will keep on coming like that, right? So like that, even in the Vaishnava acharyas, not every acharya is as prominently known as others. They are all glorious, no doubt about it, right? During that time, Dilip Vengsarkar was also a very good cricketer, right? Chetan Chauhan was also very good. Vishwanath was also very good. Who was there after that? Yashpal Sharma, that whole lineup, cricketing lineup, right? So everyone, but how many people remember Yashpal Sharma today? Not much. People are saying, Kaun Yashpal, right? So greatness is there, but some people become very legendary. That's the point I am trying to drive through this analogy, okay? So some acharyas become very legendary. अच्छा अभी फोन अच्छा उसमें से करने का उसमें इंटरनेट है ना अच्छा ठीक है so some acharyas become very legendary in this okay अभी इसका यही प्रॉब्लम है ये डालेंगे ना सबका ध्यान उधर रहता है I only want to focus everyone's attention there when required okay नहीं तो देखते रहेंगे वो गूगल का पिक्चर है I need many things but I'll decide whenever I want चलेगा ऐसा वेदा बेस बेसिकली वेदा बेस पहला शुरुआत में वेदा बेस चाहिए मुझे हरे कृष्णा ओह थैंक यू एक्चुअली अपना
तो पाचड़ जी स्क्रीन में वेदा बेस चाहिए ना इट्स अनदर थिंग ओपन
क्या मच्छी पकड़ रहे हो ये कौन सा भाषा है ऊपर okay
this is
whatever is here is okay very good अब ये बंद होगा तो क्या करने का ऐसा just like that that's all ना okay ठीक है okay thank you Prabhu thank you so much okay let's come back let's get back ठीक है
Oh no, okay, sorry. I think Gaurangi knows this.
Okay. Gaurangi knows this, huh?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's focus for some time now. So Brahmaji started one Sampradaya. In that, one of the most prominent acharyas was Madhvacharya. Very good. How did you know that? Last time I told him. I खुद ही भूल गया. Okay. So the prominent acharya under Brahma Sampradaya was who? Madhvacharya. Okay. And Madhvacharya's philosophy was what? Called as Dvaitam. Very good. Who said that? Very good, sir. Madhvacharya's philosophy was Dvaitam. So Madhvacharya's hands, you will always see it like this. Dvaitam. Like that. Dvaita philosophy. Okay. Now, Madhvacharya had many disciples. In that lineage came another prominent acharya whose name was Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri. Okay, even if you don't remember this right now, it's okay. Chalega. Okay. It's not going to be a long list of names I am going to say. Madhavendra Puri. And then there was another disciple of his who was also very prominent acharya called Ishvara Puri. And Lord Krishna himself, okay, right now take it for granted. Later on I'll explain क्या हो रहा है, okay, whether you want to accept, not accept, उसको बाद में रखो थोड़ा, अभी information तो ले लीजिए, बाद में we will talk about that in detail. When Lord Krishna himself wanted to come as his own devotee, खुद का ही devotee बन के, because to show us what it is to be a devotee, right? God is perfect in whatever example he wants to set. So he himself wants to set an example of what's a good devotee. So he himself came as his own devotee, right? He chose to come as the disciple of Ishvara Puri. Who is that personality we are talking about? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that Krishna who chose to come as his own devotee. Okay, so he came in that Sampradaya. And then what happened was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he did was, he took few points, the best aspects of Madhva Sampradaya. He took some of the aspects of Sri Sampradaya. He took some of the aspects of Rudra Sampradaya. And he took some of the aspects of Kumara Sampradaya. I should have asked you that as a quiz, but yeah. Who are the other three? Pucha tha maine? Pucha? Okay. So, Kumara Sampradaya. So, he took some aspects from each of this, and then he formed a sub-sampradaya under Brahma Madhva Sampradaya called as Gaudiya. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Now, what does the word Gaudiya come from? Gaudiya come from the word Gaudadesh. Okay. Okay, you have to Google Gaudadesh. When you Google Gaudadesh, you will find historically it covers lots of areas, predominantly around Bengal and the northern part of India. Odisha and all that. Yeah, a lot of that part is covered, right? That's why it's called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And under that, ISKCON is a institution. Who founded this institution? Srila Prabhupada. Okay. ISKCON was the first institution founded under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. True or false? False. Okay. Why false? No. ISKCON baad mein aaya. There are other matts also. Another matt which was founded before that was by Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. Anyone knows who's his name? What is his name? He is there on this altar. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. And who was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's spiritual master? No. It was Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Okay. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was his father. But his father asked him to accept Gaur Kishore Das Babaji as a guru. Does it make sense? And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji accepted his father as guru. Which means Gaur Kishore Das Babaji accepted Bhakti Vinod Thakur as his guru, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur accepted Jagannath Das Babaji as his guru. Okay, that's the 5 that we know. Uske upar bhi hai, but if you go on like that whole, we can sit here for months, right? But those are the personalities who you see on this altar. Okay? Srila Prabhupada, his guru is who? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. His guru is who? Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. His guru is who? Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And his guru is Jagannath Das Babaji. Okay? If you don't remember it, that's fine at this stage. It's okay. Perfectly alright. Just information right now. So, there are many mathas which have been running under Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, but one of the prominent ones, which really became prominent under Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and Bhakti Vinod Thakur's leadership, that was the Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Gaudiya Math, sorry. Gaudiya Math. There is also Chaitanya Saraswat Math. There are so many like that. But Gaudiya Matha was very popular because it started by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he met Prabhupada. If you read a book called Leelamrit, it's one of the best books that I have ever read in my life, right? Many people, I have seen many people from IIT Bombay and College of Engineering Pune, okay, took brahmachari, became brahmachari after reading that book, right? Just by reading that book, Leelamrit, very powerful, right? It's a thick book. It's the life story of Srila Prabhupada. My wife, Yamunalila Mataji there, she was not accepting of Krishna consciousness before. Okay, I tried my best, but घर में झगड़ा होता था, and मैंने अपने मुख पे ताला लगा लिया. Okay, I decided maunam, मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा. So one of my cousins, who is a brahmachari in Chowpatty temple, okay, he is another very highly educated person who and from a very wealthy family. He renounced his house and went and joined the temple, like that. Okay, and he's a very big preacher, in Chowpatty today. And he has cultivated also the Pune congregation. His name is Premanidhi Prabhu. He is my wife's first cousin. So, because he is first cousin, so cousin speaks to cousin, and he is Gujarati. So Gujarati mein, Behna, he told, Behan, something like that. Behna also you say, no? Ben. Motu book avade che, because my wife liked motu books. What motu book she liked? Irving Wallace. What is that? Sidney Sheldon. Ayn Rand. Have you heard of these authors? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for connecting. Robert Ludlum. Yehi tha uska. Yes.
2 cars. 1DY 9PC. I need the key for that car. And YUS 581. Just need to move in. YUS 581.
Thank you, Dipanga Prabhu. Thank you so much. Okay. Beti. So what was I saying? I forgot. Yeah. So she used to read this mota book. Okay. And she had an amazing reading speed even now. Okay. She can read very fast. Right. So he told her, you like big books to read? I will give you really big book. Okay. And then he gave her the Leelamrit. After that, her progress in Krishna consciousness was much faster than where I went. I was trying, but mere se aage nikal gayi. Okay. In fact, she was the first one to leave coffee in my house. Okay. Because I was like Amma brew. You know what's Amma brew? Brew coffee. I come from South India, Tamilian, no? So I like brew coffee. So I could not give up, But she gave up before me. Okay. Like that. Of course, I am not talking about giving up anything right now. More importantly, she became devotee simply by reading Prabhupada's life story. Okay, this is the power of reading the life story of saintly persons. It's not that we should only read Prabhupada. You can read any saintly person. You can read Jesus Christ's life story. You can read Guru Nanak's life story. You can read, these are all great personalities. By simply reading their life stories, we get tremendous inspiration. More than reading philosophy sometimes, just reading the life story of a Mahabhagavat, of these great personalities, great devotees of Bhagavan, these great missionaries, that is very, very purifying. Usme se jo lessons milta hai, that is like an accelerated learning program, SEAL program, like that. So Srila Prabhupada, if anyone of you want to read more about Prabhupada, then we can bring this Leelamrit book and we can give it to you. And in fact, we will start little bit of Leelamrit in this class also, as we go forward. Abhi nahi, kuch classes ke baad, we will start that. So this Prabhupada, it is mentioned in that Leelamrit. Everything is mentioned about Prabhupada in that Leelamrit. When he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was highly educated. The English which he writes, even the Britishers could not understand. Now all of you may not have believed it if I said few years back. But today you all can believe that Indians can beat Americans at English. Do you believe that? You know what happened yesterday? Nobody knows? Nobody knows what happened in the newspapers? You all don't see? Okay. Yes, Apdo Gujarati Chu. Dikra. What's his name? Shah, no? Jignesh Shah something. Some Dinesh Shah, Jignesh Shah something. He won the spelling bee competition. He's a champion in the world. Champion of the world. So, now, today we can believe it. But at that time, okay, let me show you something. Can you go to Brahma Samhita? Here? Oh, sorry. Can I go to Brahma Samhita? Oh my God. All books. हाँ नहीं वो पता है मुझे. ये नहीं पता है. इधर किधर बटन किधर गया भाई ब्रह्म संहिता अपना. हाँ इधर देखो. Okay. Now. Oh Krishna. Okay. I don't want you to read this whole thing, but can you see the kind of this English has been written by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's spiritual master. I will draw your attention to one of these lines. Okay, can you see this? Sabse top wala line, the concentrated. Can you see that? Right side make them, top right side. The concentrated all-time presence, uncovered knowledge and inebriating felicity have their beauty in him. Now who can write such English? ये 10 बार पढ़ेगा तो भी सर के ऊपर से जाता है. No, it's like the bouncer of that or the left-handed bowler. Who is the fast bowler? Mitchell Marsh, हाँ, right? तो ऐसा fast bowling ऊपर से चला जाएगा. Okay, so this is the kind of, just see this line also. The next paragraph. The very intensely blended entity of eternal presence of felicitous cognition is the charming targeted holding or transcendental icon. This is who? Prabhupada's spiritual master. Right? A pure devotee of the Lord, a sannyasi, is writing this. Okay? Such high education in Calcutta. Right? So, that's all I wanted to show. Abhi isme se aur kuch nahi hai. Don't worry, I will not scare you with more of this. Okay. This Brahma Samhita, we will talk about that later. All these books are there. Okay. Abhi isko band kaisa karu so that this goes off. So क्या करने का? इधर? ये?
Just try to press any of the buttons.
Oops.
On the sides.
मतलब वो ऑफ होना चाहिए. ये ऑन होना.
Screen off, yeah.
हाँ बस, thank you. Okay. So this is the level of English he used to write. And his father, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, you remember what I told you about him? Anyone remembers what I said last time about him? The government built what? A railway line from outside his house to the court. Okay. They gave him a very high position. What was his position? Chief Magistrate. Right? In that government, British government. And they used to give him the toughest cases to solve. Right? And he used to solve that. Itna acha, so good was he at his work that company is building railway line. Company doesn't give even travel allowance. My boss tells, hey, travel by economy class here. Enough. And try to take, what is that? Scoot airline. Correct? Companies are also cutting costs. Correct? But railway line kaun bana ke dega ghar se? Right? So, these are the kind of people. So, all these people come from highly educated backgrounds. Right? So, they had no reason to they did not do bhakti because they were failures in their professional life or something like that. No. Highly big achievers these people were. Right? But as much as that is true, it is also true that Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who was the chief magistrate, and his son was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who wrote that paragraph there, right? Who even Britishers could not understand his English. Bhakti Vinod Thakur told his son, you accept Gaur Kishore Das Babaji as your spiritual master. And who was Gaur Kishore Das Babaji? He was not a very materially educated man. He was like a, what do you call that as? Avadut. You know what's an Avadut? Avadut matlab? Digambar. Yes, very good. Who said that word? Huh? First class. Thank you very much. Right, exact word. He was like a Digambara. Right? He had no care of this world. Like Ramana Maharishi Madri. Right? Sorry? Sky is the cloth for him. Yes. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, he had no bodily needs at all. He will go to the crematorium और वहाँ से कुछ कपड़े उठा के पहनते थे. Right? So he was such an exalted personality, like a Digambara. He had no external consciousness of this. He was not no material consciousness, completely in smaran of. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur told that if he accepts you, then your life is. Can you imagine for a person who is this level of English to go to that kind of person and surrender? But yes, that is Vaishnavism. That is the principle of Bhakti. Bhakti does not depend on anything material. You don't need to be an IIT graduate to do Bhakti. What we need is at the same time, being an IIT graduate does not preclude you from Bhakti also. That's the beauty. You can still be an IIT graduate, you can still be the CEO of your company and still can be a devotee, and you can still know nothing about nothing and still know God, and you can still be a devotee and you will still be accepted by Krishna, because ऊपर जाने के लिए ये सब नहीं चाहिए. Material qualifications are not required, right? All we need is a heart which is free from what? pride, anger, greed, envy and lust. That is what is the qualification. And full surrender to Bhagavan. So that is our glorious Sampradaya, and we will talk more and more about each and every personality in these classes. We will talk about the charitra of some of these personalities, right? So that is about Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya. When we talk about Sri Sampradaya, who was the prominent Acharya in the Sri Sampradaya? Adiyan Ramanujacharya. Adiyan means kon? Adiyan means what? Servant. Adiyan means what? Servant. Das. In our Sampradaya, we call it as Das. For example, when someday, if you decide to choose to take initiation under ISKCON, under Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, you will get a name as Das. Like for example, I got the name Jagannath Ram Das. Why did I get Jagannath Ram Das name? Because my original name is that way my name is Jagannathan. Okay, because I am a South Indian, so my name is Jagannathan, and my spiritual master initiated me on Ram Navami day. Ram Navami mein mera diksha hua, so he added Lord Ramchandra's name. So Jagannath Ram Das. That's how I got my name. Okay, so we identify ourselves as what? Das. And in Sri Sampradaya, what do they say? Adiyan. Adiyan means what? I am under you, like that. It means servant. I am your servant. Identity is same in every Vaishnava Sampradaya, right? Servant of servant of servant. Das anu das, right? So Ramanujacharya was the most prominent Acharya in the Sri Sampradaya. So here was Madhvacharya, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, prominent, and there it is Ramanujacharya. And then in the next Sampradaya, started by Rudra, Lord Śiva, called as Rudra Sampradaya, who was one of the most prominent Acharyas, Vishnu Swami. Vishnu Swami. Okay, Vishnu Swami, not Adi Shankaracharya. I will come to Adi Shankaracharya later. Adi Shankaracharya was Lord Śiva himself. Okay, Lord Śiva himself came as Adi Shankara. Okay, so it's not Adi Shankara, under Rudra Sampradaya. So under Rudra Sampradaya is a Vaishnava Sampradaya. Please understand, it's a Vaishnava Sampradaya. So who came under that? Vishnu Swami. He was the most prominent Acharya. But many of you may not know Vishnu Swami. But whom Gujarati chu, then you will know Vallabhacharya. Correct? Tame Gujarati cho, to then you will know Vallabhacharya. No. हम लोग महाप्रभु बोलते हैं उनको. Right? Correct or no? Right? So Vallabhacharya was the great Acharya who came under Vishnu Swami. In that lineage he came under Rudra Sampradaya. So these are the three very, very prominent, two prominent Acharyas under Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami and Vallabhacharya. And then the final one is who? Kumara Sampradaya. Kumara Sampradaya, the biggest Acharya who came. Kumara Sampradaya was started by the four Kumaras, Chatu Kumaras. उनके नीचे कौन सबसे बड़ा आचार्य है? निम्बार्काचार्य. If I tell you something, then all of you will know. अच्छा ये तो पता है मुझे. निम्बार्काचार्य. Okay. If I tell you about Nimbarkacharya, where are his mathas largely? In Vrindavan. वाक्य बिहारी टेम्पल सुना है आपने? हाँ, अभी पता है. लेकिन पता ही नहीं था कौन सा संप्रदाय में आता है वो. That is Nimbarka Sampradaya. Okay. Nimbarki Acharya. So they are all called Nimbarkis. They have a specific type of tilak also. Okay. And what is their mantra always? What will they tell you? Radhe Radhe! Thakur! Thakurji. They call Krishna as what? Thakurji. Like that. Okay. This is Nimbarki Sampradaya. Like that. And before that we talked about Vallabhacharya. Vallabhacharya is very famous in Gujarat. Why? My wife also came under that lineage, in one sense, her ancestors. So they go to what is called as Haveli. You know what is Haveli? Yeah, Pushti Marg. It's called as Pushti Marg, where they worship Laddu Gopal. Right? So he started that. Vallabhacharya started that. And Nimbarkacharya started the Radhe Radhe one. Now surprisingly, we may think that Nimbarkacharya was born in UP or somewhere, correct? But actually he was born in, I read somewhere, okay, I want to verify it again, but he was Telugu. He was speaking, he born in a Telugu family, like that, right? So these sampradayas have got nothing to do with which part of India we come from. That is the beauty, right? That's got nothing to do with that. So we have to have a good understanding. So if we want to pursue Vaishnavism, then you can be safe under any of these four sampradayas. Now you will say, one question may come. It came to me. If Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati had already established Gaudiya Math, then why Prabhupada had to establish another Math called as ISKCON? That is because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and Bhakti Vinod Thakur, okay, they are father and son. Remember that. One day when they were sitting in a place called Mayapur, okay, and I am not expecting any one of you to know what this place is, okay, at this point in time. If you know it, good. It's the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the headquarters of ISKCON, okay. But that is all now. But मैं उस समय का बात कर रहा हूँ, okay. So when they were sitting, then what happened? Bhakti Vinod Thakur saw a vision in front of his eyes. And what is the vision he saw? He saw that people who are white-colored, white-bodied people, Americans, Australians, Jewish people, Russians, Chinese, everyone, he saw all these people. He got a vision that all these people are jumping up and down and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He got that vision, right? And he had one of his servants next to him. He said, "Are you able to see what I am able to see?" But his servant said, "No, मुझे तो कुछ नहीं दिखाई दे रहा." But then he called his son. He called his son, who was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who was a childhood prodigy, devotee. Right from the womb he was self-realized. So he said, "Yes, I can see what you are saying." I said, and they are discussing, "What do you can see?" "I can see all these things happening." So that was somewhere in Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mind, that Krishna consciousness is not the property only of the Indians. Because Krishna is Purna Bhagavan. He is Bhagavan is Bhagavan. He is Bhagavan for the entire universe. Bhagavan का मतलब क्या है? Bhagavan doesn't mean only for India one Bhagavan, then Afghanistan के लिए एक Bhagavan, ऐसा नहीं है, right? Bhagavan is Bhagavan. There is one God. That's it. Okay. So he said that this is the vision I got. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati told Prabhupada, when he met Prabhupada for the first time, he said, "You are an educated gentleman and you are good at English. Why don't you make this the mission of your life to go and realize that vision, what was seen by my father and me? Can you help me in that?" And then Srila Prabhupada, what happened? Immediately started ISKCON. True or false? No. It took some time. Because Prabhupada, what he did was, he said, "Yeah, my spiritual master has told me, but first my India mein try karta hu." And what happened when he tried in India? It was utter failure. Utter failure. Then, why it was a failure? Not because Prabhupada was not pure. Because Prabhupada was meant to do something bigger than just open a small mutt in India, in some corner of India, right? Prabhupada then took the ship called as Jaladuta, a cargo ship, where he suffered 3 heart attacks. He had only 40 rupees in his pocket. But only thing he had other than that was his Bhagavatam books, which he thought he will sell it to the Westerners, make some money, and then from there he started the whole ISKCON movement. Okay? If you read this, you will have tears in your eyes. If you see the struggles of Srila Prabhupada, and our hearts will be filled with gratitude. I will tell you why. Why? It's not an emotional statement, it's very practical. Because if somebody would have told me, "Sarva dharman parityajya maam ekam sharanam raja," मुझे काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर मेरे लिए. Sanskrit I have never studied in my life. Okay, I had studied something. Marathi I studied, therefore little bit Sanskrit I know. But not that I could even interpret or understand anything what is happening. I was saved because this personality translated everything in English for me. नहीं तो मैं कहाँ से I will become a devotee? Where will I be able to even speak anything from the Bhagavad Gita? I had nothing to do with anything remotely related to spirituality in my life. That is the biggest contribution of Prabhupada. His books. Every day till 2 o'clock in the, he will wake up at 2 o'clock in the night and he will, on a dictaphone, he will dictate. And you know something? Srila Prabhupada used to read his own books. Why? Why Prabhupada used to read his own books? कोई अपना खुद का बुक पढ़ता रहता है पूरा जीवन? Because he thinks Krishna is Yes, very good, Mataji. Because Prabhupada said, I have not written, whenever I sat down, Krishna dictated to me and I just, my pen moved. That's all. That's all he said. It's an impossible feat for a person who is already 70 years old के बाद ये सब किया उन्होंने. 70 years पे. 70 years में we all want to retire. He started at 70, all these things. And went all over the world, 108 temples, establishing one temple. हालत खराब होता है आदमी का. 108 temples at that age. And then with 3 heart attacks on Jaladuta, going on under a tree and chanting Hare Krishna. And he didn't know whether to go left or right in Boston Harbor when he landed. Okay. Someday we will show you videos of Prabhupada, right? We are going to enter into some journey now from here. But we have to understand the greatness of this man and his contribution to the world. Then वो उनका चरित्र पढ़ के ही people become devotees, like that. We don't need to study even Bhagavad Gita. So that's why sometimes it is said Guru is higher than Bhagwan also, like that. Because but for Guru, कहाँ से भगवान मिलने वाले, right? So Srila Prabhupada is our Shiksha Guru for all of us in ISKCON, right? Similarly, in other Sampradayas, they have their own Shiksha Gurus, right? So we talked about Sampradayas, the 4 Sampradayas, who talk about what? They are called as which Sampradaya? All these 4 come under which Sampradaya? Vaishnava Sampradaya. The Vaishnava Sampradaya differ from other Sampradayas in what? What is the basic difference? Vaishnava Sampradaya, we worship the personality of God. Whereas non-Vaishnava Sampradayas, other Sampradayas, many Sampradayas are there who worship the impersonal form. Right? Now here, please hear me very carefully. Aaj. Impersonalism has got a aspect which is genuine, and it has got an aspect which is tricky. Okay, English is an imperfect language. I am trying to convey in English, so please, I am trying to use some adjectives, don't take it to heart. Okay, but please understand the essence of what I am trying to say. It has got, do you know the word bona fide? What do you mean by bona fide? Bona fide means genuine, right? So, impersonalism has got 2 philosophies. One is genuine impersonalism and one is distorted impersonalism, right? All of us, I don't know how many of you have heard this prayer. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale. How many of you heard this? Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve. उसके बाद क्या आता है? निर्विशेष शून्यवादी. ये क्या चीज है भाई? ये निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. What do you mean by that? पाश्चात्य देश सबको पता है. That is Western countries. Prabhupada went to the Western countries, but it was Prabhupada's contribution was not just preaching in the West. Prabhupada's contribution was what? Smashing this nirvishesh shunyavadi philosophy. Now what is that? So we need to understand what it is for whatever it is, right? So on one hand is the Vaishnava Sampradayas. There are 3 aspects of the absolute truth. That's why I gave you a very fundamental knowledge very early on in this program. What are the 3 aspects of the absolute truth? Very good. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Right? Everyone remembers that? The absolute truth can be known in 3 phases, 3 stages. Learned transcendentalists know the absolute truth in 3 phases. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. So this is a verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay. 2nd chapter. Okay. From which we will be discussing tomorrow morning also at that Vindham Vale Center. Right. So 3 aspects. One is the, and I gave an example also of that, if you remember. The sun and the sunlight. The sunlight is the impersonal aspect of the sun. The sun is the form of the sun, and Surya Narayan is the personality who is controlling the planet sun. 3 aspects. So Surya Narayan is akin to Bhagavan. The sun planet which has got a form is akin to what? Paramatma. Take it analogy wise. I say equal to mat marma. Okay, analogy. and then the sun rays are equal to Brahman, right? Now, in India, there are two types of transcendentalists. There are two types of transcendentalists. What is transcendental? Again, we have got the basic education now to understand that. What is transcendental? Beyond what? Yeah, boliye. Very good. What are the three modes of material nature? Sattva gun, which is mode of goodness, Rajo gun, which is mode of passion, and Tamo gun, which is mode of ignorance. इन तीनों गुणों से जो बाहर है वो माया के जकड़ में नहीं है. They are not subjugated by Maya. Such people are called as transcendentalists. So please become aware of this word. Transcendentalists. These transcendentalists can be personalists or impersonalists. These transcendentalists can be what? Personalists or impersonalists. Personalists worship Sagun Sakar. Impersonalists go for the Nirgun Nirakar. Is this clear? There should not be any fight. They are different schools of thoughts. We will not fight over all these things. Who are we to fight over all these things, right? Because this is what it is. It is, that is what it is, right? Abhi aisa hai to hai, right? We will not fight that. Why there are two teams, India and West Indies? Aisa kyun hai? Hai abhi yaar. Hai to hai, right? So there are these two. What I explained to you last week in detail was the Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is the personalistic school. In the personalistic school, these are the four main sampradayas. Okay. There are some personalities who are direct messengers of God also, who may not necessarily come only under these four sampradayas, but who are also Vaishnavas, right? Because sometimes what will happen, Lord will send someone like almost like his representatives who need not necessarily conform to a sampradaya. But that is not applicable to all of us, because we cannot imitate such personalities. For example, okay, let us take Tukaram. For example, okay, we cannot imitate Tukaram, saying that I will be like Tukaram from tomorrow. If we have to be like Tukaram, then what we have to do? If you have a consultancy business, you have to do free of cost, thinking that Krishna is the provider. Can we do like that? Business में नहीं आइए ना, कुछ देना है तो दीजिए, वो ऊपर वाला ही देने वाला है. Will be anybody do? फट से invoice नहीं भेजेंगे पीछे पीछे, correct? So therefore we cannot imitate these people. Okay, these people are coming from some different planet, from the spiritual world, right? So we will talk about that, of course, later. But Vaishnava Sampradaya we talk. Now let us today focus little bit on the impersonal aspect. Impersonal transcendentalists, okay, उसमें there is a genuine philosophy, impersonal philosophy, and then there is a philosophy which was created but which is not genuine, but it was created genuinely to bewilder the ingenuine people. It was created genuinely to bewilder the, yes? Please repeat. अच्छा ठीक है. अच्छा एकदम simple बोलता हूँ, because अभी पूरा words में उलझ गया हूँ मैं. Okay, simple. Let's go back again. Let's go back. Vaishnava philosophy समझ में आ गया? Okay, now this side is impersonal philosophy. अभी हम लोग impersonalism की बात करेंगे. Okay, impersonal में genuine philosophy is very simple. Very simple. What is the genuine impersonal philosophy? That there are three aspects of the absolute truth. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. मुझे ब्रह्मन से लगाव है, बस full stop. I love Brahman. बस I like the impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. Is there anything wrong with it? कौन बोला? Nothing is wrong with it. If that is what attracts you, that is what attracts you. Krishna has provided for everything, right? Bhagavan is both, has a form and he is formless also. Some people choose to go and worship the formless. They don't deny the form of the Lord, but their affiliation or aptitude is for the formless. They don't say, नहीं, computer science करके कुछ है ही नहीं, इसके लिए हम metallurgy लिया हूँ. ये क्या भाई बात हुआ भाई? Some people will say, हाँ, computer science भी है, but मुझे metallurgy अच्छा लगता है. I like mechanical engineering. I like metallurgy. So I have chosen. So some people choose to impersonal. Okay. In India, some of the most biggest acharyas, transcendentalists, who come from this impersonalistic school. The biggest one was Ramana Maharishi, okay, who was also called as Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi, right? Who talked more about Brahman, Atma Vicharam, Brahman. If you see their language will be like that. They will talk more about Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, they will talk more about attaining that, right? Then there are so many people like that. There is Kunju Swamigal, there is Sheshadri Swamigal, there are so many people. There is Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. I don't know whether you have heard of all these names, right? But there are a lot of people who have come under the impersonalistic school, right? Now, this is where you have to understand carefully. Now, this is where I need Google Mahashay. And ये चाहिए अभी मेरे को, एक मिनट, हम कोशिश करता हूँ. ये तो मेरा ही तस्वीर दिख रहा है मुझे. एक मिनट, सो सॉरी यार, सो सॉरी. इसको कुछ करना पड़ता है क्या? अच्छा, इधर. Okay, one day you have to give tuition to me. I don't want to disturb all of you like this.
Someone needs to give me tuition.
अच्छा, आपको भी चाहिए ट्यूशन?
This equal thing I can't understand.
ठीक है, मेरा भी समझ में नहीं आता है. चलो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. All right. So what I wanted to show you was, can you go to Veda base, Prabhuji?
Here, you can navigate. Here.
Veda base, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll navigate here. All of you can see here. But I need. Okay, can you, Prabhuji, can you navigate for me? Can you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita? And can you go to Madhya Leela? ठीक है? चैतन्य चरितामृत इधर ऊपर गया. चैतन्य चरितामृत हो गया. नाउ हाँ, चैतन्य चरितामृत. गो टू मध्य लीला, बीच वाला बुक. गो टू chapter 6. Yeah. The liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Yes. And go to text number 182. Okay. Okay. So all of you can read whatever is there on the screen. Okay. This is the Shastra Praman. Evidence from the scriptures. What does it say? Mayāvādam asac-chāstraṁ pracchannaṁ bauddham ucyate mayaiva vihitaṁ devi kalau brāhmaṇa-mūrtinā. Okay, that is what the Sanskrit says over here. Okay, what is the translation? Who wants to read? Volunteer? Nobody volunteer?
But what पढ़ना है translation?
नहीं, translation पढ़ी.
Lord Śiva informed Goddess Durgā, the superintendent of the material world, in the age of Kali, I take the form of a brahmana and explain the Vedas through false scriptures in an atheistic way, similar to Buddhist philosophy. Okay.
One more person wants to read? Any Matajis want to read? Anyone can read from there? Any volunteer? Yes, go ahead.
Lord Śiva informed Goddess Durgā, the superintendent of the material world, in the age of Kali, I take the form of a Brahma and explain the Vedas through false scriptures in an atheistic way, similar to Buddhist philosophy.
Prabhuji, now you can read the purport up.
The word
brāhmaṇa-mūrtinā
in the verse refers to the founder of Mayawadi philosophy, Shankaracharya, who was born in the Mayawadi district of southern India. Mayawadi philosophy states that the Supreme Lord, the living entities, and the cosmic manifestation are all transformations of illusory energy. To support this atheistic theory, the Mayavadis cites false scriptures which make people bereft of transcendental knowledge and addicted to the fruitive activities and mental speculations.
Nietzsche, important.
This verse is a quotation from the Padma Purana,
Uttarakhand. 25.7. Okay, so we are giving scriptural reference about this. Okay, so हम लोग पॉकेट से कुछ नहीं बोल रहे हैं. So now ये थोड़ा बंद करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? ये ना पीछे ऐसा कुछ दबाया था ना? अच्छा, thank you very much. Okay, so mayāvādam asac-chāstraṁ. Now, anyone remembers the translation? Somebody was speaking to someone there in the translation. Who was it? Lord Shiva is speaking. Bapre, to Parvati. In which scripture? Padma Purana. कौन सा कांड? उत्तराखंड. अभी सब लोग PhD हो गया. Yes. Correct. So just imagine, Lord Shiva is telling that I am going to come down as Adi Shankara and I am going to preach what? The Mayavad philosophy. Now Mayavad philosophy is a distortion of the impersonalist school of thought. Okay. Therefore Mayavad is what? Asac-chāstraṁ. Can you see that? Asac-chāstraṁ means what? Not bona fide philosophy. Now you will wonder, ये मायावादी क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? I will explain to you very simple language. Okay. Many people, okay, many Mayawadi religions, now I am using a word, okay, for man-made religions. Many Mayawadi religions, what do they say? They say that Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, all these people were ordinary human beings, okay, and somehow or the other they purified themselves and they became God. They got rid of pride, anger, greed, envy, lust, and therefore they got the position of God. Right? So therefore, all of us, when we become very pure, we will also become God. That is called as Mayavadi philosophy. Okay. Now, क्यों उसको Mayavadi philosophy बोला गया है? Let us say, hypothetically, for example, let's say Lord Ramchandra was an ordinary person, okay, working in, let's say, Life Insurance Corporation of India or something like that. Okay, like I'm not even joking. You know why I'm saying this? Because in Chennai, somebody called himself as Kalki Avatar. You know that? Huh? One fellow called Vijay Kumar. He said, I am Kalki Avatar. Okay. LIC में था वो. He said, मैं ही Kalki Avatar हूँ. Okay. Suddenly, he and his wife, right? And his wife, he called his wife as Padmavati, no? Horrible it was, right? Man calling himself as God.
So many Kalki avatars.
Ah.
There's so many, if you Google, they are.
Yeah.
There's a web series on it.
Yeah, there was a web series, yes. They brought all the Kalki avatars together on a chat show and they decided, abhi tum log group discussion karo for entrance into IIM Ahmedabad to decide who is Kalki avatar, who will get admission. Group discussion kiya un logon ne, debate. Tu, मैं हुआ वहाँ पे, right? So therefore, all this is bogus, okay? And why this was started? This job was given by Lord Krishna to Lord Shivji. He told Lord Shiva, you are my purest devotee. Lord Shiva is said that Lord Shiva is the purest devotee of Lord Krishna in the material world. Who is saying that? I am not saying. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says that. You remember I gave you a verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? भूल गए होंगे आप लोग, मुझे पता है. nimna-gānāṁ yatha ganga. याद आया अभी कुछ तो? I had told that. nimna-gānāṁ yatha ganga. This is from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 12th skand. nimna-gānāṁ yatha ganga means what? Out of all the rivers, which is the most worshipable? Ganga Devi. Devanam achyuto yatha. Out of all the personalities, who is the supreme most? Achyuta. Achyuta किसको बोलते हैं? Krishna. Right? nimna-gānāṁ yatha ganga. Devanam achyuto yatha. Vaishnavanam yatha Śambhu. Śambhu means कौन? He is the highest Vaishnava. And then Purananam idam tatha. सब पुराणों में से highest कौन सा है? This Purana called as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Right? So, in each category the highest has been already given. Right? So, Lord Shiva is the highest. Okay? We have not discussed Shiva Tattva. maybe some class I will take Shiva Tattva with all of you, okay, in detail as per the scriptures, right? So what happened was Lord Shiva had to come down and he said that Lord Krishna said, you have already started Vaishnava Sampradaya, तो आपने शुरू कर ही दिया, उसमें विष्णु स्वामी सब लोग आए, रुद्र संप्रदाय, वल्लभाचार्य भी आए, उसमें पुष्टि मार्ग, everything you have given. But I want you to keep the people who don't, I want to keep people who are envious of God. Please understand this word. I want to keep people who are envious of Bhagavan away from me. Why? Because in Bhagavad Gita, okay, again, sorry, start. Otherwise, आपके machines पे जाके ना Bhagavad Gita 15.15 में जाना. You know how to use Veda base now. So क्या करना होता है भाई? Again, you have to call somebody or what? माता जी इसमें ये Google कैसा वेदा बेस कैसा लाने का? किस पे क्लिक करो? ऐसा इस पे क्लिक करो. उसमें नोटिफिकेशन सेंटर आया है. अभी किधर क्लिक करो? अच्छा ऐसा घुमाने का खाली. सॉरी प्रभु जी, सॉरी. एप्पल टीवी ये करना पड़ता है क्या?
Just to mirror it there.
Just to mirror it there. Okay. Okay, भगवद गीता 15.15 मिल गया सबको? Do you know how to go to Bhagavad Gita 15.15? Hands up if someone is struggling and I'll tell you how to do it. Go to Veda base, choose Bhagavad Gita, go to chapter 15, go to text 15. Okay? What is the verse? Sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvairaham eva vedya vedantakrit vedavid eva cha aham. This is what Lord Krishna tells. Now what does the translation? Prabhuji, you want to read translation? Can you read the translation?
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Okay. This is a beautiful verse. Krishna himself is revealing to Arjuna that he is Swayam Bhagavan. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes mattah. Mattah mat mere se hi. क्या आता है? स्मृतिर. ज्ञानम मीन्स नॉलेज. अपोहनम मीन्स व्हाट? सो मुझे भुलाने के लिए भी मेरा ही कृपा चाहिए. फॉर समवन टू फॉरगेट मी ऑल्सो ही नीड्स माई स्पेशल मर्सी. देयरफॉर व्हाट हैपेंस इज, remember I told you there are, as a Jiva Tattva, who are all of us? We are Jiva Tattva. As a Jiva Tattva, we have a choice whether to surrender to God or we have a choice not to also. Krishna does not take away that choice from us. He does not take away that choice from us. But what Krishna does is, obviously, he wants to keep his devotees separate and he wants to keep other people also happy in forgetfulness. Sometimes some people are happy in forgetfulness. Does it make sense? कभी कभी होता है ना लाइफ में, कुछ बड़ा इंसिडेंट हुआ लाइफ में, तो वी प्रे दैट लॉर्ड मे आई फॉरगेट इट, बिकॉज वो मेरे को टॉर्चर कर रहा है वो इंसिडेंट, राइट? सो समटाइम्स यू मे फाइंड दैट पीपल प्रे फॉर फॉरगेटफुलनेस ऑल्सो. सो इफ वी आर एनवियस ऑफ कृष्णा, इफ समबडी सेज दैट तू ही क्यों भगवान, मैं भी क्यों भगवान नहीं, राइट? दैट इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? आई वांट योर पोजीशन, राइट? सो व्हाट कृष्णा सेज इज दैट ही टोल्ड लॉर्ड शिवा, गिव देम सच अ फिलॉसफी by which they will think that they are also God. As simple as that. And that philosophy is called as what? Mayavad philosophy. Now why it is called Mayavad philosophy is, who gives us forgetfulness of Krishna? Krishna himself, but he doesn't give it directly. There are two types. Please hear me carefully. I am telling you very, very technical point now. Please hear carefully. Please do not miss this point. Okay? There are two types of people who forget Krishna. There are two types of people who forget Krishna. One is the highest devotees of Krishna. Now this may be, ये बोलेगा ये क्या बोल रहा है भाई तू? The highest devotees of Krishna, Krishna makes them forget that he is God. Please understand. The highest devotees of Krishna who want to be in which ras? Madhurya ras, Sakhya ras, Vatsalya ras. What happens? ये तीनों रस में क्या होता है? भूल जाते हैं. Because you can't fight with Krishna. वो बोलेगा अरे आप तो भगवान हो, मैं कहाँ रेसलिंग करूँ तुम्हारे साथ. सुदामा बोलेगा क्या मेरे पोटली से क्या होने वाला है तेरा? You are the husband of the goddess of fortune. ऐसा क्या नहीं है आपके पास जो मेरे क्या है वो? हाँ पोटली से मिलने वाला है, राइट. So therefore Krishna and Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai in Vrindavan, for her it is my small baby. Krishna has he eaten? That is her concern. She is not worried. Krishna ही तो सबको खाना देता है, क्या बात कर रहा है, भगवान को कौन खाना देगा? You know, she is not thinking like that. But for that, what Krishna uses, he uses an agency called as Yog Maya. There are two types of Maya. Please understand. Maya के दो रूप हैं. एक है Yog Maya and दूसरा को क्या बोलते हैं? Mahamaya. One is called as what? Yog Maya and other is called Mahamaya. Yog Maya acts on devotees. Mahamaya acts on non-devotees. As simple as that. Right? Right? Yog Maya's job is to enhance Krishna's leelas wherever he does those leelas, whether in the spiritual world or in the material world. Yog Maya का काम क्या है? To put a condition such a way that Krishna can enjoy his leela. For example, Krishna wants to be chastised by his mother. Mother का थप्पड़ खाना है Krishna को, right? Because he also wants to experience माँ का कैसा होता है, गुस्सा. So therefore, what she makes him forget that he is God for some time, and then Yashoda mother is telling him Makan chor, and then she is tying him to the drum. Who gives this forgetfulness to Krishna? Krishna himself has given power of attorney to Yog Maya to give him this forgetfulness, but still he is in control. Right? Krishna is never out of control. Right? Now, the same Krishna, he gives forgetfulness to another type of people. Who are those people? People who do not want to accept him as God. Okay? Because the position of God is already taken. There is only one Bhagavan. Right? As I said last time, it is very clearly given in Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly given in the scriptures that Mamaiva Amsha, all of you are only my fragmental part and particles, who are qualitatively one with me, but who are not quantitatively one. Therefore, you are not Bhagavan, but you have all the qualities of Bhagavan. Qualitative oneness is there, right? Which you will realize when you purify yourself, that qualitatively you are one with me. आप मेरे ही जैसे हो, like that, okay? And you will have all the powers that I have. Just like a father business चला रहा है, will the father give power of attorney to the son? Yeah, because he trusts. Power of attorney किसको दोगे आप? Only to someone who you trust. So Krishna bestows all of his powers to his devotee. So sometimes the devotee is also called as Bhagavan. I wanted to explain all this, but उसके लिए समय चाहिए. Therefore, sometimes Narad Muni is also called as what? Bhagavan Shri Narad Muni. Like that. Does it make sense? Right? But Narad Muni is not Vishnu Tattva. Narad Muni is who? Narad Muni is devotee. He is Bhakta Tattva, not Vishnu Tattva. Right? So he is a devotee of the Lord. Always chanting Narayana, Narayana, like that. Because if I am Bhagwan, you are Bhagwan, then Ram or Hanuman में कोई फर्क ही नहीं है. Hanuman will say, ठीक है, you are Ram, I am also you, so therefore Sita is my wife also. Will Hanuman ever think like that? Do you think anybody? Just imagine how shallow that sounds, right? If you just apply a little bit mind, then you will realize it's a very shallow thing, right? But why is it prevalent? It is because of that verse which I showed you, okay? Lord Shiva was sent by Krishna specifically to go and preach this Mayavad philosophy. And why is it called Mayavad? Because Krishna has got several energies. One such energy of his is called as Maya Shakti. But Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, this Maya Shakti works under my control. Mayadhyakshena prakriti. Maya Devi runs this prakriti, right? But under the instructions of Krishna. Amit Shah may be running, but under the instructions of Narendra Modi. He is powerful, no doubt about it. और उसके भी ऊपर कोई है भाई, like that. So Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena prakrite, मेरे अध्यक्ष में ये सब चल रहा है, and Maya is my internal energy, she is under my control. Krishna is saying like that. Right? In Bhagavatam also it is mentioned, in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned, in Puranas also it is mentioned, everywhere it is mentioned. Now, this philosophy which was given by Lord Shiva when he came as Shankaracharya was to give forgetfulness of that to people who want to be happy thinking they are God. बोलते हैं ना मैं भी भगवान हूँ, मैं बस आई एम हैप्पी इन दैट नॉलेज. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड asac-chāstraṁ. Now why it is called Mayavad? Because this philosophy relegates, you know what is the meaning of relegate? Anyone knows what does relegate mean in English? Pushes down. Pushes down को और एक क्या बोलते हैं? It marginalizes. Do you know what is marginalizing someone? Sorry? हाँ, उनका जो रियल ग्रेटनेस है उसको दबा देना. Present that person as someone ordinary. हाँ, right? For example, if Amitabh Bachchan walks into this room, obviously he will expect to be introduced as Shri Amitabh Bachchan ji, the famous actor. No? If I tell him, आइए आप भी बैठिए, some Prabhu ji आप भी बैठिए, and I'll tell that one more new person has joined, and he, and say after all he is also a human being. It's okay in one sense, but obviously these people have got something, they have done something great, right? So if I marginalize that person, then how does it sound? Obviously that's not due respect to that person, right? So therefore, what happens is the Mayawadi philosophy is called as Mayavad because it assumes that Maya is bigger than Bhagavan. It assumes that Maya is bigger than Bhagavan. Therefore, what happens? People say that when Ram and Krishna come into this material world, they are also subjugated by Mahamaya. Therefore, they have to suffer in this world. Therefore, they have to suffer in this world. राम जी भी बेचारे आया, उनको भी अपने कर्मों का फल मिला, उनकी बीवी को कोई उठा ले गए, बेचारे को पता भी नहीं कहाँ है. Do you really think Lord Ram doesn't know where Sita is? But that's a big leela behind that. Without understanding that leela in detail, most of you don't even know that the Sita who was kidnapped by Ravan was not the real Sita. Do you know that? Do you know? Oh, very good. Thank you very much. I'll tell you, I did not know that. Till 2010, I never knew that. Her name was Padmavati. That's a big story behind who she was. She was replaced. Sita ko Ravan kabhi छू भी नहीं सकता है. How can Ravan touch the Lord's wife? Do you think the Lord is so powerless? But what the Lord did, he went and did this leela to show something to all of us, right? So when what happens, when someone who is doing, when Shah Rukh Khan comes as a poor man in a movie, if we start thinking that Shah Rukh Khan भी गरीब है यार, क्या बात कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं है, चप्पल पहन के घूम रहा था वो उधर मूवी में, गरीब झोपड़ी में रहता है शाहरुख खान. बोलता है बॉस यार क्या बात कर रहा है, मुझे पता है बैंड्रा में मन्नत करके जगह है भाई, शाहरुख खान का बंगला है मन्नत, which belonged to somebody. कौन था पहला उधर? Somebody was there. It came in some disciplic parampara, I think, to him, right? So he got it somewhere, and that's a big opulent opposite the Bandra reclamation, most costliest place in Bombay. क्या बात कर रहा है शाहरुख खान पर? अरे कसम से मैं देखा ड्रामा में, उधर देख के आया मैं अभी, और शाहरुख खान मर भी गया. नहीं मरा यार, मन्नत में है वो, right? So then we know that there is one Shah Rukh Khan in the drama, and there is one Shah Rukh Khan who is having his eternal identity. This is what we have to understand. अभी हम लोग ने शुरू नहीं किया ना स्क्रिप्चर पढ़ने का. Therefore we don't know. It's okay if we don't know. That's not a problem at all. But we have to study the scriptures thoroughly. बहुत साल लगा पढ़ने के लिए इसको. We have to study the scriptures thoroughly so we will understand tattva, what is tattva, what is leela. We will never get confused after that. Okay? Kerala story कुछ भी आने दो. Nobody will get confused by anything. Correct? Problem क्या है? We have not studied, and that's why what happens, we get, I don't have anything against Muslim or Islam or anything like that. Huh? Please don't mistake me. But that is why, but problem क्या होता है? Some people take advantage of us because we have not studied our own scriptures. ना इसके लिए आगे कुछ भी बोल के जाता है. Correct? And our people also get defeated, accept all these things, or they get defeated and frustrated because हम लोग ने नहीं पढ़ा है. If we have studied, we'll give it back to them then and there, right? Right? But we can't because वो लोग पढ़ते हैं कुछ तो हम लोग वो भी नहीं पढ़ा. हम लोग कहाँ पढ़ते हैं हम लोग? अभी तो शुरू हुआ है ना जर्नी ऑफ भगवद गीता, right? So therefore, Mayavadam means when you say Krishna is subjugated by Mahamaya, that means we are thinking that Mahamaya is more powerful than Bhagwan. And because who subjects us to pride, anger, envy, greed and lust? It is Mahamaya. Now if we say Krishna went through pride, anger, envy, lust, सब pure होने के बाद then भगवान बन गए. That means somebody else was monitoring. Somebody gave him the position of God after that. That means somebody else has to be God, no? Higher than him. So if you see this logically itself, there is a flaw over here. You understand what is the logical flaw here? If Lord Ramachandra became Bhagavan after some time, that means somebody made him, na? Somebody has to make him Bhagavan after that. That means that person who made him Bhagavan has to be Bhagavan. Because he is only controlling Lord Ramachandra. अभी तू भगवान नहीं है, कल के बाद तू भगवान हो गया, आजा तू भी आजा, भगवान बन जा. Sorry? लोगों ने भगवान बनाया बाद में. ओके ओके, हाँ हाँ, लोगों ने भगवान बनाया बाद में. यार लोगों ने भगवान नहीं बनाया है एक्चुअली. भगवान इज ऑलवेज भगवान. भगवान ने लोगों को बनाया. दैट इज व्हाट स्क्रिप्चर्स टेल. Now somebody tells लोगों ने भगवान को बनाया. I don't know which scripture that is. Okay, I have not heard anything like that in the Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If any other scriptures say that, then we have to test the veracity of where it is coming from. Is it genuine? I can tell you, there are thousands of bogus Bhagavad Gitas in India. You don't know who has written, ना? कोई भी लिखता है भगवद गीता to become famous. Correct? कल मैं भी publish कर सकता हूँ. Jagannath Ramdas wale Bhagavad Gita, and I can write any damn thing. I can say I am supreme personality, my wife is Lakshmi Devi, and we can sit here nicely. उसको मैं भी कुछ मुकुट उकुट पहना होता ना. पंजाब में कौन थी वो? Durgā Devi started dancing. Who was the lady? क्या नाम था उसका? Samada. Horrible it was, right? And there are people who follow also. Why? Because people are ignorant. किसी ने किया ही नहीं है शास्त्र अध्ययन. Okay? They don't even know what is the goal of life. Shuru. That's why we started this program with fundamental knowledge. Fundamentally, one by one. Therefore, that Mayavad philosophy, what does Mayavad say? Mayavad philosophy और Brahmavad philosophy में फर्क है. What is Brahmavad philosophy? Brahmavad philosophy means there are three aspects of absolute truth. I like to attain Brahma Jyoti, which is fine. But the moment you say भगवान जो ब्रह्मन है, जो ब्रह्मन धरती पे उतरता है, तो ब्रह्मन is subjugated by Maya, and Brahman also becomes contaminated. That is called Mayavad philosophy, because you are now telling that Brahman is also subjugated by Maya Devi. That Parab Brahman, Krishna who is there, he is also subjugated by Mayavadi. That's called as Mayavad. Now if you don't understand this, not a problem. But please understand one thing, that we don't subscribe to the Mayavad school of thoughts. Now I am going to make a statement. Please do not put me on camera or anything like that, because ab camera laga to iske liye main freely nahi, sometimes I can't speak freely. For 1 second, can you please stop this camera? Because there are people who are wanting me to tell something and I have not told that till now. कभी कभी बोलते हैं ना, अरे वो कायम चूर्ण ले लो यार, क्या फर्स्ट क्लास मॉर्निंग में क्लियर होता है पेट. अच्छा आपने खाया? हमारे फुल पेट क्लियर यार, कॉन्स्टिपेशन दूर. देन क्या होता है? somebody says मैं ट्राई करूँ हटा. देन somebody says नहीं वो डाबर का वो अलग है, वो चूर्ण क्यों नहीं लेने का. आई डोंट नो, मेरे को कायम चूर्ण काम किया मेरा शरीर में. इन माई लाइफ भगवद गीता वर्कड, इन माई लाइफ श्रीमद-भागवतम वर्कड, एंड आई कैन टेल यू we have done so many programs. The people's lives have changed by simply following this. You have an option to believe us, or you have an option to look at us with skepticism. शायद ये झूठ बोल रहा है, इसको कुछ तो चाहिए होगा, इसके लिए इधर आया बोलने के लिए. फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम, डोंट टेक इट. आप लोगे, डेफिनेटली फायदा होगा, ये आपका गारंटी है. राइट? कृष्णा का गारंटी है, मेरा नहीं है. इसे मायैव सत्यम ते प्रतिजने प्रियोसी में कृष्णा सेज सरेंडर इनटू मी, योर लाइफ आई विल गेट यू बैक इनटू वैकुंठा इन दिस लाइफ टाइम. अभी चॉइस अपना ऊपर है. We are not going to discuss other philosophies nor denigrate any philosophy, because that is not our goal. But we can only tell one thing, that because this topic came, because I am here to serve all of you. I don't have any intention of coming here. So I have to tell you this, that the philosophy that I know about Islam, it talks about Nirakar. Okay, but I spoke to Arjun Sakha Prabhu at length. Arjun Sakha Prabhu told me, Islam mein actually they have both. They have form as well as formless. They only say that, because he said he has dabbled a lot with Islam. So he said that, Prabhuji, मैं PhD हूँ. He said, I can answer any question over there, because मैं उसी माहौल में पला हुआ हूँ. He said, so that's why I said, आप आके बताइए, because मेरा क्या अधिकार है बात करने का about things which I don't know. So I will invite him. He told me, in that particular religion, both are there, form and formless, both are there. And I don't deny him, because I have read a book called as Jaiva Dharma by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is having a conversation with with who? Islamic scholars. And you know, वो conversation कैसा हुआ उसके बाद? भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर ने तलवार निकाला, उन लोग ने भी गन निकाला, छोड़ा नहीं दोनों एक दूसरे को. ऐसा हुआ क्या वो conversation? False. ऐसा नहीं हुआ. You see that conversation. It's such a beautiful conversation about the synthesis of two different schools of thoughts working on the commonalities. And those scholars, I have read this book Jaiva Dharma. I will present it to you one day. This Jaiva Dharma. Okay. उसमें they are telling that much of our religion has been distortedly presented to the more, वो नीचे नीचे आके, it has completely been distorted by who? By people who have vested interest. But I am telling you one thing, if you think it is only happening in Islam, we are wrong. It is happening in Hinduism also. अपने भी लोग हैं. I will tell you one example where मेरा blood boil हुआ. I am telling you, when I think about this, मेरा blood boils होता है. There was a lady in UP, please serve prasadam. There was a lady in UP who was raped. One girl was raped, okay, brutally raped. And when she went, I think her family was also killed by truck से उसको मारा दिया गया. And the person who did it was a minister of parliament. कुछ तो BJP का MP, something he was, I don't know. Okay, you remember this? Who this guy was? Huh? And when I see that video, you know what he's saying? That rascal, he doesn't even have shame. He's coming and telling, nimna jati ke log hain. He says that. Nimna means what? Nimna jati ke log hain. As if इसने बहुत बड़ा जाति का काम कर दिया. Okay, who is nimna jati here? This rascal who did that rape, he did the activity. That's a lousy activity. But he's telling, I am from higher caste. Now who was he? He was Muslim or Hindu? Hindu. So please do not think that rascals are only in one religion. Rascals are everywhere. Please understand one thing. Sanatan Dharma means there are only two truths. I am leaving you with this in this class. There are only two truths. If you are hearing me, there are only two truths. Either you are a devotee of the absolute truth or you are not a devotee of the absolute truth. ये दो ही सत्य है. आप कुछ भी बोलो, बाद में इस्लाम बोलो, सिख बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो. There are only two truths. You believe in the absolute God and you are following, you are willing to take your life in accordance with His rules. The goal of your life is to attain Him. That is one. Another person is, the goal of life is to enjoy. It is about me. I want to enjoy this world. I want to control everyone. That these are the only two types of people. Okay. So ये दो choice अपना ऊपर है. Okay. Is that okay for now? Yeah. ठीक है. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We will talk about next week we'll talk about why so many man-made religions have come and how they have emerged. Okay. Some of them we will talk about, and then we'll move on to the next aspect of practical applications of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Prabhuji.